Nowadays, we all enjoy our simulator games. Apparently, we clock out from our dull 9 to 5 and clock in to our virtual 9 to 5, flipping burgers, driving trucks, or rebuilding their Panzerkampfwagen 4 Ausführung G. And painting it pink. But why are simulation games so compelling? Some are definitely due to how rare and scarce the real job positions in question are. I mean, how many vintage tank mechanics actually exist outside of the Bowington Tank Museum, and why won't they answer my emails? Some job positions don't even exist yet. But when they do, the job opening of Dinosaur Park Manager will surely only be filled by the highest level of LinkedIn sorcerers, and our chances to even afford the ticket as a visitor are slim to none. Maybe it's because you seem to be able to actually save up money flipping burgers in-game, rather than perpetually circle the drain of rent, rising food costs, and the inflationary pressure in e-girl donations. In short, put in more effort, more money comes out. A novel concept, better fit for children's adventure books like Narnia or Berserk, Weiji, but for sure quite compelling. And it's not just the numbers increasing in your virtual bank account, it's about exerting a level of control. Now, control exists in every video game except for League of Legends or Dota, but player agency in the main storyline, or going on a murder hobo spree on all the homeless people in your vision field for the purposes of character building, somehow feels very different from the control you exert in simulation games. Firstly, on a macro level, whichever game you choose comes from a sandbox of possibilities. What if I had become a sidewalk power washer? What if I was a city planner and didn't understand traffic flow, capacity, and density? What if I stole my Section 8 neighbor's microwave? Simulation games hand you a consequence-free laboratory for those excellent and definitely not symptoms of mental illness what-ifs. They function like a sandbox where you can, within a relatively short time frame, try any experiment and see what happens. On the surface, it seems ridiculous to spend our short amount of allotted free time on mundane and even job-related activities like fishing, stocking shelves, and burglary. But here in the virtual world, there are no long-lasting penalties, nor any time investment equivalent to become a real-life truck driver, for instance. On the micro level of control, simulation games offer us structured chaos. Any real-life job offers you open-ended work projects, complex social dynamics, incompetent middle management, and so on and so on. Unstructured chaos. In contrast, simulation games present a world of finite, solvable problems. Your variables, both problems and solutions, are known and visible. City budget in trouble. Tax families. Seemingly insurmountable traffic flow challenges. Tax families and build another 2 lanes. Growing economic discontent. Build more parks and then tax families. The path to a solution, while challenging, exists within a closed logical system. There is a level of cognitive tranquility when engaging with these bounded complexities. Imitation complexities of real life, obviously, but it still allows our problem-solving muscles to flex and work in a universe where effort, time, and logic are reliably rewarded. How many of us right now can say the same thing about our real-life employment? The rules of real-life employment are infinite, starting with the interpersonal drama and office politics and ending with you in HR suspiciously explaining which projects you are currently working on. But in simulation games, you aren't fighting an unknowable system. You are learning a new, self-contained language of cause and effect, zeros and ones. The finite space of fast food simulator, Euro truck simulator, tank mechanic simulator is cognitively liberating. It transforms what would have otherwise been an anxiety in real life into a to-do list, and that to-do list transforms into a zen-like state that steals 14 consecutive hours from your Sunday. Mind you, I'm a sucker for violent games. The dopamine rush is unmatched outside of activities prohibited by YouTube TOS, but the allure of structured chaos rests on this almost fundamental paradox. We seek out calm, not in emptiness, but in focused engagement with manageable problems. Monkey see dirty pavement, monkey use a Prime Vista Pro to clean dirty pavements. Simulation games are rarely about the sheer dopamine rush found in action, horror, or Japanese visual novels, unless you feel the same way I do about the Panther tank. Simulation games are master architects of a specific type of engagement. Escapism, not in the cosmos, the fantasy, or the generally amorphous, but crucially in the same kind of existential chaos we all face to some degree in our daily life. But it isn't just manageable problems, but also visible and tangible progression in those manageable problems and how we deal with those manageable problems. Like I mentioned in the beginning, effort equals reward in all video games except for Mind's Eye, where it equals the unmitigated pain of further progress. Progress most often is good, and specifically what either lacks in real life or is bestowed on us painfully slowly. Face it, hard work doesn't always pay off, and bad things happen to good people for no reason. In contrast, simulation games are basically bastions of absolute and transparent justice. Serve the correct order to the NPC and be rewarded. Serve the wrong one and be punished. In real life, serve the wrong order and be yelled at. Or serve the correct order and still get yelled at, and then stabbed by a crackhead on your way home. The simulation game's reliability is profoundly comforting. Here, mastery is not only a faint possibility, but in fact guaranteed with enough observation, skill, and effort. The chaos in simulation games is quantifiable and visible. X percentage of the map remains uncleaned, so get cleaning and watch that number soar. The abstract feeling of being productive, a feeling that still escapes me to this day, is replaced with a tangible graph, a growing number, a visually cleaner slate. In a world where so much of our labor feels abstract and its impact hard to measure and see, the simulation game offers the pure, undiluted satisfaction of seeing a number go up as a direct result of your competent decisions. Furthermore, the tangible transformation is much more apparent and much more speedier than real life. From scrap metal in a hole in the ground somewhere in France to a fully assembled museum piece on display is still a journey in-game, but obviously much faster than reality. Most simulation games offer you only the bare minimum to begin with: a patch of land, a stock standard restaurant, an empty shop, and some startup cash. As you play, the game world itself becomes a living scrapbook of your effort and, let's be honest, procrastination. Every building, every tank, every crop is a physical testament to time you have invested. The transformation is slow, organic, and because you were involved in every seed, drive wheel, and zoning law, deeply personal. Progress is not just quantitative and numbers based, it's qualitative and aesthetic. It's not just about putting your mind into Zen mode as you cruise along the German autobahns with your favorite podcast running.
Fuck to and spit on that thing.
But the clear and enjoyable progression you gain from doing so. Look through posts about why people love Euro Truck Simulator, and the same two answers are repeated: zen-like meditation and a good progression system. It's not just about dangling the carrot in front of our eyes, but dangling progressively more and more gaudy carrots, while also ensuring that when we achieve that carrot through time and effort, that we feel the upgrade in the carrot. More horsepower, going from manual labor to automation, or something grander and more impressive aesthetically. Also, I think I lost track of my metaphor. It's cognitive barbell training. Our problem-solving minds receive a perfectly weighted gym in which to exercise. The weights, chaos, are heavy, but the barbell is safe and the rules and structure is clear. The more time you spend with the barbell, the more weights you can see and handle. And not only that, it's a safe space to spectacularly fail. Now, I'm not claiming that painting your World War II tanks pink is a spectacular failure, but certainly whichever museum director you happen to work for might be hard-pressed to explain to the last surviving Sherman tanker why Hatsune Miku is spray-painted on the side of his vehicle. In reality, failure like this often carries heavy, lasting repercussions. A failed business venture can mean financial ruin, unless you're a bank, in which case the government will bail you out. A misstep in a work relationship can cause you to be stuck at the bottom of the totem pole for the remainder of your career unless you're good at sucking dick. Making your customers sick due to boring health and safety hygiene procedures in the kitchen could result in actual prison time, which also results in you sucking dick. But virtually, this is a sacred place for catastrophic experimentation. Throw meteors on your finely crafted city, send your Kerbals in Kerbal Space Program on absurd rockets hurtling towards a certain challenging fate. The options for tomfoolery are endless, and exactly because the games usually present such realistic facades and veneers, especially Kerbal Space Program, it is that much more satisfying to goof around in. Obviously, it's pretty funny to body slam Nassim 7 or 8 times during your Skyrim playthrough, but the effect is way more undiluted in satisfying our primal curiosity about collapse when the virtual reality mirrors our own that much more closely. Simulation games quietly tick a lot of our boxes. They give us structure and freedom, puzzles to solve and worlds to mold, challenges to master, and calm projects to enjoy. We are allowed to organize complexity into digestible bites, something quite impossible in our day-to-day unless we become cannibals. This feeling of being an effective, competent agent in a world that responds logically to your actions, effort, and skill is a potent form of satisfaction. In conclusion, simulation games are great, compelling, and worth their weight in gold because there is no middle management.
Thank you. Now watch this drive.
Alright, that was a video. Comment down below which simulator, management, or burger joint is your favorite. Throw me a like and subscribe for more cromulent videos. Check out my other videos here on YouTube or my free video on Patreon where I trash Jurassic World. Support links in the description, Patreon, and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next video.